Shalom. Let's start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Ba'Shem, YAHAWASHI Ba'Shem Shalach YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Now, while the masses is being distracted by this whole Donald Trump scandal, this drama film, you got these other nations that are working together to strike fatal blows to the Western hegemon. Now, they're dealing quite heavy blows to the U.S. economy. And they're also helping to defy Western dominance in the earth. All right, and with each move, it's taken away from Western authority and their respect as a superpower. And this is happening right before our very eyes, while everybody's focused on Trump. Now, I mean, this is very entertaining. You got people, protesters out there, acting like Trump was the last hope, and they're trying to get him back. But newsflash, Babylon is on his way out, man. All right, and also newsflash, Trump is working for the same beast. All right, he's just on the other side. He's just on the other wing. All right, the other side of the coin, so to speak. All right, controlled opposition. That's all this is. They all working for the same international bankers. But either way, the fall of Babylon is inevitable. I mean, the scriptures has already prophesied that Babylon would fall. Let's get real quick. Let's go to Jeremiah 51 and verse 8. And it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. Yeah, because it's getting ready to be a disaster here. All right. You have to still be insane and intoxicated with that Babylonian wine to still want to be here, even though this place is falling from its status. It's falling in dominance. It's falling economically. Is decaying morally. Nothing's going to be left here but disease, all right, warfare, more poverty, depression. This is a rich country falling into third world status. So you would be wise if you're not from here to leave. This is what the prophecy is saying. It says, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. All right, because of her iniquities, her sins has reached to heaven. There's too much rebellion, too much satanic behavior. All right, Noah flood behavior. All right. So the Lord ultimately is using strategy, all right, by, putting the spirit on these nations to, make these chess moves against the West, mainly against Babylon, all right, the whore that rides the beast. All right. That in shake kingdoms, that in turn cities into wilderness, that in cause fire to come down from heaven on nations. All right. So now they're taking this opportunity, to come against this whore. Now that they're seeing and witnessing, all right, the self deterioration, the self destruction. Because this place is in self-destruct mode. Or from its economy to the food, the water, everything being contaminated, poisoned. You know, everything is fake. It's not organic anymore. Disease increasing, obesity rates is out of control. The dynamic between male and female here, marriage, everything is done here, man. And it's only getting worse. So this is good for us because the land of our captivity is fizzling out. We're getting ready to see salvation, man. Like, hey, Romans 13:11, for it is now a high time to awake out of sleep, for our salvation nearer than when we believe. All right, more of us waking up, and you got the enemies trying to rise up and counter the awakening. And it's not gonna stop what's getting ready to happen in prophecy. All right, let's get Isaiah 55. There's nothing that this devil can do. These Christians are detractors. There's nothing nobody can say. These patriots for Babylon. All right. This is Isaiah 55 and verse 10. It says, "For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it." So we know ultimately the Lord is, he's sanctioning Babylon's fall. All right, turning these nations against the West. So it's a number of things that's happening right now. All right. And, people that got their eyes open, they're foreseeing, like the scriptures say in Proverbs, the prudent foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. Everybody else, they're taken in darkness. They're confused. They're distracted. They're being busy, being entertained. Some people are still hopeful for this place. You ain't wise if you still got hope for this place, man. This place is done. So this is from endtimeheadlines.org. All right, it says economics expert issues dire warning on serious threat faced by U.S. dollar. It's inevitable. And there's a number of things that's happening that's, taken away from the power of the petro. All right. So it says, since World War II, the U.S. dollar has been the world's strongest currency, but one economic expert warns that it could soon lose its power. It's already losing its power. It's still dominant because you still got multiple countries that still, most of the world still uses it. But there's a growing trend. All right. And it's following China and Russia's lead. All right, where they're now announcing that they're ditching the U.S. dollar and creating trade alternatives. All right, that's one of the first steps. It says during an appearance on Fox and Friends Weekend, Breitbart economics editor John Carney warned that the dollar's feeble valuation could be a serious threat to the U.S.'s crucial influence on the world stage. It's not only a serious threat, I think it is inevitable. We went through 3 stages, as you said, after World War II. The U.S. was the biggest economy in the world. In the 1970s, global banking became basically dollar central. With the fall of the Soviet Union, the entire world more or less came under the domination of the U.S. dollar. That is now drifting away. China and Russia are starting to build an alternative block of currency. And the thing about that is their currency, or, the alternative that they're coming up with, is actually backed by sources of value. Everybody knows the American petrol is not backed by nothing of value. All right, it's backed by faith in its military. America will try to bully you into, maintaining their dollar as the currency, the world reserve currency. But now they're starting to see that, Russia and China has built itself. So now they're standing behind them. It says the economic experts' comments come in response to China's ongoing efforts to disband from the dollar. They begin the strategic process of de-dollarizing their business dealings during Russia's invasion of Crimea. All right. Now, real quick, because these are some things that's happening right now. All right. And it says here, and I just took this screenshot. These are the things that are currently happening while people are massively distracted. It says China's yuan is now the most traded currency in Russia for the first time, replacing the US dollar. So that's the first thing. Second thing, Japan will now buy oil from Russia. And I did a lesson on that, I think was it yesterday or the day before. Japan is supposed to be a US ally, but now even they're folding under pressure. And now they're buying oil from Russia over the cap limit that they were allowed to even buy. Okay. So they're defying their alliance with the US over that. Okay. So for them to do that, there's still some resilience. You know, I believe it stems from what happened to them going back to World War II. All right, with Pearl Harbor, man. It says the president of Kenya just told his citizens to get rid of the US dollars. We saw that. We did lessons on that as well. He said in a matter of weeks, man, it's going to be a change. So stop, get rid of your dollars. We know ultimately the solution, the overall solution is to go digital, which is why they're, testing out these, digital bank currencies, these pilot programs. You got the Fed now that's being launched in July this summer. A lot of stores going cashless because the overall is to usher in the MOTB system. That's what it's all about. But right now, they have to strike these fatal blows to the West. All right, so that the currency of the West no longer be the dominant currency. All right, it says India will now trade in rupees and get rid of the US dollars. And these are all those BRICS countries, all right, that are making these moves. So they're playing chess right now. All right, Russia, they came together with these BRICS countries. And we know that the US still needs NATO. Well, NATO needs the US actually, but that the beast, but they're divided. All right, they don't know if they want to cut all trade with China or not, even though China is opposed, to their dominancy. But they still trade. Everything costs more dealing with the US than with China and Russia. All right, it says Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Russia, Iraq, Oman, and Algeria are now going to reduce their oil population to balance the market, and Saudi Arabia will cut its production by 500,000 barrels per day. Do you know what this means for global nations who rely on these nations for oil, namely the U.S.? And even though the U.S. has its own reserve oil, U.S. has massive oil, but they just refuse to use their own. They don't want to tap into their own reserves. That's what Biden did when he first came in. He wanted to, stop using our own oil. Or so I said the U.S.'s own oil. He tried to make a call to the Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia cut him off. All right, this was after that whole gas crisis that was going on, I think, last summer. People were rushing to the pumps. It was, they was saying that there was going to be a shortage of gas. So everything is happening, man. Also, while they're destroying your food supply, more derailments, releasing more toxic chemicals into your water supply, into your rivers. Just think about all this that's happening, man, all at once. And the only thing on the western side was Finland just join NATO. But do you think Finland is going to set up nuclear missiles on their borders? You think they're going to be stupid enough to do that? I'm just saying. But while, they just did that, and that's only going to just piss Russia off even more, more countries are opting to join BRICS. We already know Argentina wants in, Iran wants in. All right, I think Mexico now wants in. These different Latin American countries, they want in. So all that's happening is the West is positioning itself to become, small among the heathen. And that's, was that Obadiah? Now, the more these things happen, the more insignificant you're going to start to become, even though you're a superpower. Obadiah 1 verse 2, it says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised." All right, this is why everybody's siding with Russia, China, Iran, etc. They're sick and tired of the Western dominance. It's bad for the earth. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, and it caused all the nations to be drunken. Therefore, the nations are mad. All right, you're not going to spread your democracy here. We don't want your rainbow flags. We don't want your GMOs. So you're seeing a lot of pushback, and they're saying, you know what? Let's just join, with these BRICS. They got all these different lands. They got resources. They believe in currencies with a value backed by resources, gold, silver, etc. So the more this happens, the more this place is going to deteriorate. And the Lord is, he's the one that's bringing the corrosion of this place through these various moves. All right, was that Isaiah 14? Yeah, Isaiah 14 and 11 says, "Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee." And we know that the worm represents corrosion, decay. All right, this is for worms. And then right here, this is for worm, Ramah. And it says maggot worm as cause and sign of decay. All right, this is why it said in Isaiah 47, "Sit down in the dust." All right, basically when you are in the ground, in the dust, usually your body, after a certain period of time, starts to decay back into the dust, into the form. All right. And worms, maggots start to feed off your flesh, and you decompose as a result. So this place is systematically being broken down. And guess what? We've been chanting it down through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, man. We've been telling you, the prophet's been warning that this was going to happen to this place. This is how you know America is definitely Babylon the Great, or the daughter of Babylon. It's happening right before our very eyes, man. All right, so hey, rejoice. All right, because there ain't no hill in this place, man. It's going to be nothing but trouble. All right, tribulation, anguish. All right, austerity. Let's get Nahum 3 and 19. And it says, "There is no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap their hands over thee. For upon whom have not thy wickedness passed continually? So hey, rejoice that, there's no healing. This place is it's in its terminal stage, and it's gonna have a dying day. And ultimately, when the Lord shows up, he's just gonna just burn this place. And that's what we're waiting on, man. Are we looking for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwell righteousness? Because Babylon set the standard for all out just confusion, wickedness, rebellion. So, yeah, man, this is it's ending pretty good, man. We get into the climax, and there's nothing that because you got Babylonians that's still hopeful, but the Lord already put that spirit of perverseness here. So you people are deteriorating mentally, morally. The more it get out of control, the worse it's gonna get. The more sin, the more fearlessness of the Most High, the worse these plagues gonna get on this place. More devastation. All right, all these tornadoes tearing places up. All right, it's just gonna be disaster after disaster after disaster. All right, and some of these people, like the scriptures say in 2nd Esdras, they won't be mindful of the scourges. All right. But that's all right. Because the Lord's he's not going to stop plaguing this place. These are the birth pains that the scriptures speak of. Let's go to 2nd Esdras. (16). Yeah, 2nd Esdras 16, and I'm going to start at 37. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son. With 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains, she go through them contractions. When a child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. All right. Meaning, the evils are going to continue to increase. And this is worldwide, even though Babylon is front and center of the Lord's indignation. Yeah, he's going to continue to multiply the plagues. All right. The cattle are being diseased. You got all these flus going around, killing off the sea life. The fowls, the birds dying. You got they talking about the Marburg virus. You got this super bug going around. It's just going to continue to be more and more, man. But, let's continue to watch and also, hey, continue to have faith and pray. And the Lord's, he's going to cover us, man. Read Psalms 91. So, hey, with that, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Shalach YAHAWASHI. And hopefully this was edifying. All right. And I'll leave a link to this one in the description box. And there's more other things happening, but, I just want to keep it short. But, hey, with that, Shabbat Shalom.